are you all? Thank you guys for being here. Let's see. Say hello to you guys. Hello, sexy wild thing claws. Hey, Marcus. Hey, Nadie. Hey, TF. Crazy mama. Hey, pointer lover. B crumbs. Did you see my comment? I got the date right this time. That was pretty funny last time. Okay. Hey, Vicky. Hey, preschool granny. Let's see. Search and rescue canine. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Barb. I enjoyed your live this morning. Barb did a good live this morning. You guys should go check it out. Hey, Melinda. What are you guys up to today? Hey, Crown Sleuthin. Hey, Amber Love Reigns. B Crumbs. How are you, Amber? Hey, West Virginia Jules. Mind of Monsters. Good morning. So I wanted to come on here for a few minutes. I was looking at Crime Online, and again, every time I enjoy this series, the True Crime News, because we see and talk about a lot of cases that otherwise I wouldn't see. There are a few that I want to make some points about, and there is an update from one that we talked about in the last one. So I think that it'll be some good conversation. And then after this, I'm going swimming again. Did y'all see my post yesterday? I could not believe it. Those dolphins came like all the way up to our dock. It was really freaking cool. Hey, Shay Shay, enjoying the refreshing rain. Oh, Amber. Happy birthday to the baby. They grow too fast. They really do. About 6 foot. Mind of Monsters. Hey, Sue Ann. Let's see. Let me drop Nay and Crazy Mama, you guys' links and then we'll get started. I still don't remember which one went last time for you, Crazy Mama. Hey, Natasha. Hey, Kate. The dolphins, they were so freaking cool. Yeah. I've never seen something like that, but it was really cool to see so close. But it's scary because if they're coming that close, then what else is coming that close? And plus, like, I kayak out there, and I cannot imagine being out there alone in like a little kayak and all these dolphins start like jump. There was a lot. I mean, there was probably like maybe 15 or 20. Like, they come in a really huge group, and they come for a while. Like, they slowly come in the long line, basically. Hey, Tiff. Good to see you. The dolphins were gorge. My dad lost his dentures in the ocean once, and my parents convinced me for years dolphins took them and were out there wearing them. Emotional damage. Aw. Hey, Y23. Hey, T. Marie. Welcome. Thank you. I love Nonsense's channel. I've been sharing some of her videos lately well, I share a lot of her videos, but she's done this series on this religious creator, and it's very interesting. You guys definitely should go check it out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull up Crime Online. This series, we basically just go through and look at different cases that are not popular, that aren't being talked about a lot, and it's just like a laid back hangout thing. And yeah, so that's what we're going to do. There's always interesting stuff. There's an update to what, remember, we talked about a West Virginia couple with an 8-year-old daughter who had gotten away and was starving. There is an update to that case. So we'll see that. Hey, Deb. And then there's a few other ones that were pretty interesting. Hey, Deb. Hey, Amy. Guidance. Good to see you. Hey, Neat Noodle. Happy Sunday. Okay, no shortage of crime. But the weird thing is, and oh my gosh, wait till you see one of these cases, because why do some get so much attention and some get none? It's a huge problem. It really is. You know, if it's a pretty young woman, usually they get more coverage. I don't know. It's incredibly unfair, and it sucks. It's tragic. You've got some of these families that are begging to be left alone. some of these families that there's not even a crime committed, it's an accident or something, or this fake kidnapping, and it takes over all of YouTube and all of social media. And then you have other families that are begging for their story, for their loved one that's missing, to be talked about at all. They would love to be on one news segment, so that's why I like to do these series, because we see a lot that we really wouldn't see otherwise. Hey, Sweet and Sleuthy. Oh, thank you, Neat Noodle. Oh, thanks for gifting. Who gifted, Crazy Mama? Thank you, was it Web Weaver? I know. Her wax melts are the bomb. Thank you, B Crumbs. Thank you, Web Weaver, so much. I appreciate that, and welcome, you guys. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to start with the first one at the top because it looks interesting to me. Georgia woman allegedly masterminds plot with lover to kill college football star husband. And then sometimes with these, I'll try to find like other articles from the local news of this case or whatever, but we'll just run through and see. There was one that I do want to click on their local news and show a video, but we'll talk about that when we get there. So a Georgia wife and mother is accused of conspiring with her lover and another man to murder her estranged husband, the Thomas Times Enterprise reports. Authorities in the Bahamas allege that 36-year-old Lindsay Shaver is the mastermind behind a plot to kill 38-year-old Robert Shaver, a former football star at Auburn University, where the couple were college sweethearts. Police in the Bahamas discovered the planned hit while investigating a break-in at a bar on July 16th when they came upon WhatsApp messages discussing the proposed killing. Authorities also arrested 28-year-old Terrence Bethel, Lindsay's alleged lover, and 29-year-old Farron Newbold in connection with the plot. On July 16th, 2023, Adebayo, while being together, did with a common purpose agree to commit an offense, namely the murder of Richard Shaver, a police report obtained by the Times states. The three defendants were in court on Friday and have not yet entered a plea. They are being held in jail and expected to make another court appearance on October 5th. Can you imagine if you are this dude and you find out about this? Thank God they found it. Oh, welcome, T. Marie. Thank you for joining. Hey, Ava. Just leave him, shaking my head. Oh, Shay Shay, money is the root of many issues. It always comes back to money. Hell, even the issues on here, Hey, Thistle. Oh, thank you, Neat Noodle. Thank you guys for being here, too. Hey, Corey. Okay. The Shavers reportedly own a home in the Bahamas, which is where the affair allegedly first began. When Robert discovered the relationship, he filed for divorce in Thomas County, Georgia. A post on Lindsay's Instagram account indicates that she met Robert in a fitness class at Auburn in 2007. So thankful for that fitness class 13 years ago that brought us together, and all the love, laughter, and life we have created since. I love you, babe. Cheers to many more, Lindsay wrote in 2020. Several posts by Lindsay contain religious references. In one family picture from Easter 2022, Lindsay wrote, "He is risen," between two cross emojis. The couple, they are the parents of 3 boys, with the youngest being only 4 years old. So you're going to take oh my gosh, I'm glad they got caught before those boys lost their dad. Robert had signed with the Atlanta Falcons as a free agent, but was dropped from the team before the 2009 season began. That used to be one of my favorite teams back in the day when Michael Vick played there, before all of his trouble. Oh, thank you, B Crumbs. Thank you, Carol. You guys are the bomb. Thank you, guys. Crazy Mama's the bomb, T. Marie. She has a channel. Let me drop it. You should check it out. Hey, Patricia. Your name is making me feel drunk. Shay Shay, because of the, it looks kind of blurry. Hey, Cray Cray. Hey, Cool Gamer. Okay. Sorry. Bentley came over here for a second. Okay, let's continue. Now, you guys wait till you see this. I couldn't believe this, and I want to know more about it. But another fake kidnapping, okay? And let's see, there's two places where, like one place I clicked on it earlier and I couldn't get the details. Yeah, there's not much details, so I need to know more. This is basically a podcast that Nancy Grace has done. And so when they post those podcasts, they just put like a very brief description. But gorgeous co-ed fakes kidnap to avoid admitting she won't graduate on time. Graduation was just a few days away for a 23-year-old Pennsylvania co-ed when missing. Chloe Stein was last seen leaving her job at a Sonic restaurant in Hempfield Township. Her boyfriend received a text that night saying she was being pulled over, but she wasn't seen or heard from again. Police issued a missing endangered person advisory for her. 2 days later, police received a tip she was at a home in Jeanette. She was found safe. She told police she was abducted at gunpoint by a man in a mask and was later released. So when she does these podcasts, sometimes it can be a case that's not current. So that's what I need to figure out. I don't know, the details of that. But just another kidnapping, another fake kidnapping. Curious why it didn't get the attention that, Carly's did. That's interesting. But it's a shame because, like I've told you guys, it's a huge problem that missing Black women don't get the coverage they deserve. There's an epidemic going on of missing Black, Native American, and African American women. African Americans make up 13% of our population, but they're 40% of our missing, and they're like 1% of the news, right? So it's just such a shame that the one story that makes it big is the bullshit. And then why that one and not other ones? So this is the one I wanted to show you guys. This is scary. Let me check on you for a second, though. Media does it on purpose. Hey, Emily. Oh, Lord, not another one. No, Pointer Lover, I did not. Wow. No, not again. Thank you, guys. Guidance, I need to put your channel in the bot. Guidance has a channel, too. A lot of awesome creators and people here. Crime Sleuthin', yours is not in my bot either, I don't think, where you took that break. Hey, Mexi. Good to see you. Oh my gosh, it's been a while. Mexi has an awesome channel. There's another one. It's not in my bot either because, I just hadn't seen you for a while. I need to add it to the night bot. Thank you for being here, and I hope you guys are doing well. Oh, thank you, Sexy Wild Thing Claws. You are so sweet, and I appreciate that so much. Thank you. I mean, these people have too much time on their hands. Should have put that time into going to class. Well, this is kind of scary, and I want to go show you a video with it, but let me read first. So, dramatic new video has surfaced of a hostage situation earlier this week in Florida, where an escaped convict held people at knife point in a Miami Beach store. The footage, obtained by WPLG TV, shows 29-year-old Darian Young threatening a woman and her mother at a Victoria's Secret moments after he was accused of shoplifting lingerie around 5:30 p.m. Thursday. Young appeared to be clutching the woman's neck while ducking behind a checkout counter. Meanwhile, the woman's mother could be seen behind them with her hands together, apparently praying. "I'm going to kill her. I'm going to kill her. Don't make me hurt her. Don't make me hurt her," Young repeatedly yelled, according to one witness who spoke with the television station.
And good evening. Off the top at 6 tonight, we begin with gripping video that you'll only see on Local 10 News. A man holding a woman and her mother hostage at knife point inside the busy Victoria's Secret store on Lincoln Road. The Miami Beach police officer who responded to the...
I'm going to go back just for a second. So you can see them back here at the top of the screen, kind of.
Gripping video that you'll only see on Local 10 News. A man holding a woman and her mother hostage at knife point inside the busy Victoria's Secret store on Lincoln Road. The Miami Beach.
Oh my God almighty. Scary. What the Florida is going on down here? Mind of Monsters has a channel, an awesome channel. A lot of you guys do. Go check them out, you guys, please. I'm just happy that all of you guys are here. Thank you for being here. This is scary though, super scary. I don't know how old. Let me see.
Each police officer who responded to the store said he had no choice but to shoot.
The armed man was shot and killed. Let's get right to Local 10's Rosh Lowe live on Miami Beach with the very latest. Rosh.
And this is not video from the outside. This is video right from the inside of Victoria's Secret. And that's what makes this video so unique. It brings you right into those moments where a young woman is held at knife point. We're told her mom was also held at knife point. And then you see the perspective of
a young woman, and mom looked young. The one that was like praying, I could see her hands up praying. But
Miami Beach police officer, and he has a few split seconds to save lives. This freeze frame from video inside Victoria's Secret on Lincoln Road on Thursday, so frightening.
Oh my God almighty. This is a freeze frame of the video. Oh my God, that the news has put out. Whew. I don't know how you handle somebody grabbing your baby like that. Oh my God. Hey, BR. Good morning. Slim, how do I not hear about these Florida stories in my local news? Florida is like its own country, might as well be an island. I don't know, but that's like a reason I always enjoy doing these, because there are tons of cases that I'm like, how have we not heard about this? Because wait a minute, because when we go a little further, there are a couple that are horrific. Every time we hear about these infants or babies, anybody, right? It's horrific, but you're like, how has this not been all over the news? But the facts are that there are a lot of cases that never get any attention. There are tons of people that are missing that never make the news. There are cases that might just get a little tiny bit, and then there are cases that get all the attention. It's unfair, Emily says, I stood and looked at the 40 plus missing children posters at Walmart yesterday. So many I didn't even know. It's awful. Jane the Ripper, I live in Florida. Wild shit constantly happens in Florida. I feel like they probably report it when nothing happens instead down there. Like, hey, nothing happened today.
You can see it. A man holding a young woman at knife point. A woman standing next to her crying. Let's stay with this shot for a moment. And now to the video. Imagine being those Miami Beach police officers who arrive on the scene, every second critical, as the knife-wielding man causing havoc. Put it down, man. Just put it down. And then another still shot of the young woman with her hands clenched in prayer. Shot.
My God, that is just terrifying. Mind of Monsters says it's like the unidentified women found in 3 suitcases in Delray Beach last weekend. Crazy shit always down here. I heard about that. I been trying to keep my eye on some of this stuff. There was several suitcase stories that came out within the last week or two. Hey, Sunny D in Arizona. Hey, from sunny Arizona. Another 111-degree day. Holy hell. Whew. I think it's hot here and it's like 95. It's just because our sunshine law, the entire world gets to see our shit. I do too, Cray Cray. Hey, Chick Tracy. Hey, Positive Vibes. Hey, you guys coming in. It is scary. Okay.
Shocking video.
We're going to move along, but I'm going to play.
She had a daughter hostage and the mother there screaming for help.
Miami Beach police opened fire, killing the suspect. Witnesses say the suspect was shot in the head.
I'm going to kill her. I'm going to kill her. Don't make me hurt her. Don't make me hurt her.
It is very rare to be brought into the moments when a police officer needs to make that split-second decision to save a hostage. But here we see it. We are brought right into those moments.
Wow. So they had to take his life. Well, too bad you don't attack kids and moms in the mall like that. That is just so scary. So I'm not going to get into the Alicia Navarro stuff. It's a little iffy. Reports are that she was asking to get off of the missing persons list so she could apply for a driver's license, that she was, I just don't want to get into it. It's a sensitive subject. I don't know the details of it, so I'm not even going to click on those. This one, though, before we get into the more graphic things I was telling you guys about, I think this is a happy story, and it reminded me of summer. Reminded me of summer before I saw the date. This was kind of weird. So when I first saw this story, I was like, just the Mexico reminded me of Dawn mentioning Mexico and all of that in the beginning. But then when I continued to read it, they talk about an investigation that started on June 15th. So I thought that was interesting. Just a little odd thing that happened that made me think of her. So 3 children missing more than a year found safe in New Mexico. 3 children who disappeared more than a year ago in New Mexico were found safe this week. The Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office said they launched an investigation on June 15th, 2022, after they were contacted by the Children, Youth, and Families Department for assistance. They had been contacted by hospital staff over concerns of drug use by a mother, a 39-year-old whose toddler was hospitalized with an asthma attack. The department put the 3-year-old on a safety plan with a family member. As deputies investigated, they learned that 3 children were missing, including a 13-year-old and a 9-year-old. Investigators worked for months to find the children and their mother, who was evading law enforcement, and eventually classified the children as endangered and missing and filed a charge of obstruction of child welfare against Atwood. They located the family July 27th. After initial resistance, she and 2 of the children emerged from the residence. They did find drug paraphernalia and stuff like that. But the point is, they're safe. They were found with minimal food, unhygienic living conditions, the drugs and stuff. So it's a good thing they were found now before they turn into another one of those cases that we hear about, and that's just the truth. Hey, Foxfire. Okay. Yeah, in an underwear shop. A doctor who went missing on ketamine and was found in a pond on his backyard. Like that one shocked me, just because, wow, we have doctors that are doing ketamine. I mean, of course you'll have that, but scary. A guilty elite con woman tricks $2.8 million from an aging Holocaust survivor. Okay, hold up a minute now. So first we have this here. Parents who sell their 8-month-old baby for an iPhone. But we're going to read this about this was the one that's an update. So last week we talked about these parents in West Virginia who were arrested after their daughter jumped out of her window and went to the store, begged for food. She was starving. They found a house that was fully stocked with food. So we're going to talk about that. This California wife dies after a estranged husband convicted of spousal rape allegedly poisons her food. We're going to talk about Jennifer Odom. Her killer was just arrested after 30 years. And then these 2 cases, which are going to be the exceptionally difficult ones, 5-year-old girl and mom in a suspected murder-suicide, and then a dad who punched his 4-month-old daughter, and that took her life, which reminds me of the piece of crap Adam Montgomery. So that, and then after that, I'm going to let you guys go. So we'll start with this West Virginia couple. Fully stocked with food. Yep. And a baby for an iPhone. I cannot believe it. Ketamine and water is the worst combination. Isn't that tranquilizer? Is that horse tranquilizer or like cat or dog tranquilizer? Did you hear about the girl that was missing for 8 years, just walked into her house a few days ago? I've heard of a few actually that have been found recently. I think some of them were willingly missing. Hey, Maria, good to see you. We never run out of crazy shit in true crime. That's true, Neat Noodle. But the problem is we get in these habits of discussing the same things over and over. There are so many missing people out there that are not being talked about that we need to be talking about. And so many, other cases that need to be discussed. So this is something actually T. Marie said nonsense told you about my channel was something that she speaks out about that I agree with her heavily on. It is so depressing that these stories don't get coverage if they're not interesting enough. It's like it's too boring for people to care about. That is bullshit. It just is. Hey, Will, good to see you. Amy, that makes me think that Summer could still be alive. I know. It does give you hope for sure. So, okay, the update about this couple. New details have emerged about the West Virginia parents arrested after their 8-year-old daughter jumped from a second-story window and walked to a store to beg for food. As Crime Online previously reported, Elio and Ryan Hardman are facing criminal charges after their daughter on July 7th made her way to a Family Dollar in Calhoun County where she allegedly pleaded for help from staff. While holding a teddy bear, the child reportedly told employees that she and her 3 siblings had not eaten in days except for a sandwich one of them made. The little girl came through the store, just walked up to us, Family Dollar employee Kelly Hutchinson told local news, and said, "I'm hungry. My mom and dad don't want me no more. Do you have something I can eat?" Let me check on you guys. Hey, Clarity. Oh, thank you for being here, Sexy Wild Thing. Maria, all you guys. Appreciate you guys. Okay. New reporting reveals that when police went to the child's home in Arnoldsburg, they found it fully stocked with food, including food in the cupboards, food pantry, refrigerator, and freezer for the entire family, according to court records obtained by local news. Drug paraphernalia was also discovered inside the house, which reeked of marijuana. When an officer asked Ryan if he knew where his daughter was located, Ryan allegedly responded that he believed the girl was upstairs with another sibling, but that she was known to leave the house. The girl allegedly told police that she jumped out of the window because she was not allowed downstairs and that she would be forced to lay in her room without food for days as punishment. One sibling allegedly confirmed this punishment and told officers that it could extend for a week. The child's plight resonated with Family Dollar employee Sandra Nicely. She says, "Me having kids of my own, it just broke my heart, her saying she was hungry and haven't ate. No little girl should ever feel like she's not wanted. No kid for that matter." The Hardmans, both 33, are each charged with child neglect with the risk of serious bodily injury or death and conspiracy. They are being held in Central Regional Jail on $100,000 bonds. It is bullshit. It is complete bullshit. Hey, Crime Curious. Good to see you. Hey, Malicious Intent. Good to see you, too. Tardy slip, please. At least she didn't say Cheez-Its. Thank you, Sue Ann. It's sad. I'm sorry. Stop having kids if you don't want to take care of them. Why do people do that? And if you're sitting downstairs smoking your weed, munching out, whatever, enjoying your life, and locking your kids upstairs and not letting them eat, holding food from a child is not punishment. That is not a proper fucking punishment. This pisses me off. I'm sorry. Excuse my language, but that's ridiculous. That is not a proper punishment. In any case, time out, take their electronics, things like that. Withholding food from them is not a proper punishment. I wish I had Will's link in the chat and Mexi, many of you guys that came in. I know I've got Mallory's and Crumb Curious. I'm going to fix my Nightbot and add a bunch of people. Okay, so let's continue because these cases have a tendency to make you mad. But now this couple that sold their baby is from India. This is not in the U.S. Doesn't make it any less ridiculous. But it is abuse, TF. Nessie says it's not punishment, it's laziness. Some people don't deserve the gift and privilege of having a child. Tony B, that is just perfectly said, because you know what? These sweet little babies, the amount of love and affection and that they bring to your life, like, it's worth so much. It is so valuable. I don't know. I just don't understand how you could be blessed with something like that and that's how you act. Well, parents sell baby, 8-month-old baby, for iPhone. Post travel pics to Instagram Reels. A couple in West Bengal, in India, sold their 8-month-old baby to buy an iPhone and travel for Instagram content, police said. According to the Indian Express, the Barrackpur Police Commissionerate, it's in India, so whatever, the police were alerted to the alleged incident after some of the defendant's residents saw the new phone and noticed the infant hadn't been seen in days. Police identified the couple as Jaidev Ghosh and Sati. After questioning the mother, police arrested her for human trafficking after she allegedly confessed. After interrogation, the mother admitted to the crime and informed that she and her husband wanted to use the money to take trips across the state so they could create content for Instagram Reels. I know, Tiff, I know. It's unbelievable. What in the hell do you care what's on your Instagram Reels if you don't have your baby? If I don't have my babies, at the end of the day, I don't give a shit about anything else. I'm done. Like, what? I don't know about that. I could not, I don't know. Hey, Woofy. We should use our special forces to clean up this mess. I don't know, Candace. I do not know. Hey, Legendary. So, police also said the father attempted to sell their other child, a 7-year-old, but the plan allegedly failed. A fucking 7-year-old. Now, this is going to piss me off. A 7-year-old? Like, imagine the terror. He's now reportedly on the run, the father. Investigators found the baby, according to police, and the infant is now safe. Police declined further comment. It is a developing story and will be updated, and I'm going to be following this one. I cannot imagine selling your child for $1 million, much less a fucking iPhone. And then not only that, but your newborn is one thing. Number one, is it a safe home you're selling them to? Are you selling them to some abusers, traffickers? And then your 7-year-old who is consciously aware at 7 years old. I mean, Bentley's 6. I just cannot. Whew. Kids are props for a lot of people. You ain't wrong. You're not lying about that, Sue Ann, especially on social media and stuff. That's just the truth. Yay, at least the baby is safe. I agree. No, yeah, it wasn't. It was I scheduled it like 15 minutes before. Oh, Corey, you're awesome. What the actual fuck? I know, B Crumbs. Crumb Curious. I was watching that video you sent me right before the live. I laughed so hard. It was about this true crime in general and just funny. Hey, sweet misery, true crime. All right, let's keep going. Hey, Magenta, no worries. We're just kind of casually hanging out, going through news stories that don't get, I haven't heard about. Maybe you guys have heard about some of them, but okay. California wife dies after estranged husband convicted of spousal rape allegedly poisons her food. A California woman who passed away earlier this year was poisoned by her husband, according to authorities who have now arrested the man for murder and other crimes. So this week, police took 48-year-old Glennis Smith into custody in connection with the death of his wife, 49-year-old Jennifer Smith Floyd. The arrest comes months after Glennis called 911 on January 12th and told a dispatcher that his wife was unconscious and not breathing, according to a press release. Medics responded and tried to revive Jennifer, but she was pronounced dead at the scene. Authorities investigated the woman's death, and they know what caused it: fentanyl poisoning at the hands of her husband. Authorities say Glennis poisoned his wife's food at least twice with the powerful opioid painkiller. A motive has not been disclosed, but at the time of the woman's death, they hadn't been living together. Police also allege that Glennis tried to burn the couple's travel trailer several months after his wife's death. He's now facing charges of murder, arson, and insurance fraud, and is being held without bail in Sacramento County. So, this is not the first time he's allegedly attacked a romantic partner. He previously was in prison for spousal rape in an earlier marriage. As Jennifer's family continues to mourn her death, they are remembering her as a loving person who championed fellow women. I'm going to click on this Fox News article just to see if there's any other little tidbits I can get from it. I'd like to know how they know that. Like, do they have evidence of him obtaining the fentanyl, that kind of thing? I clicked the warrant. Like, see how the arrest warrant is in blue? When you click it, it goes to nothing. I don't know. I'll keep my eyes on it and see if there's any more information I can get. Here's another picture of him. The Elk Grove Police Department said in a press release on Thursday that he called 911 on January 12th to report she was unconscious and not breathing. Well, you know that woman in Utah who did the children's book? They found, they had her text messages of meeting up with the dope dealers and stuff like that. Hey, Mystic. Aw, I love those beautiful. I hope we see him again today. We're going swimming after this live. And yesterday, like, my neighbor told me that they usually come around like 4 or 5. So we shall see. Patricia, I don't know which part. There may have been a typo that I read, but the chat's like 20 seconds behind. So it's kind of, I don't know which part you were talking about. It's weird. My most viewed video is Trickster, our 14-month-old grandson riding his battery-operated four-wheeler. He's heck of cute, but almost 2K views cute. Aw, I bet he is cute. That is interesting, though, Slim. Fentanyl is the new aqua tofana. I don't even know what that is, Crime Curious. Hey, Jimmy. Yeah, Corey. Exactly, Mal. I just saw your comment on that. Hey, cutie pie. Good to see you. Okay, let's continue. We'll get these two after this one. This one just reminded me of Adam Montgomery. I cannot wait for his trial. I cannot wait. So it's a short article, but again, it is, I hate to give trigger warnings on a true crime channel. That sounds just like it should be obvious. But then again, some of these are just so hard to hear, So Dad punches 4-month-old daughter in head for crying, killing her. A Utah couple was arrested on Thursday for the death of their infant daughter that died with injuries consistent with child abuse. A 4-month-old girl died after she was found unresponsive at her Ynyard home. And we're going to look. Well, here's the local news report. Let's just read this then. I was going to look at this after, but it didn't open in a new window. So a Utah couple has been arrested in connection with the violent death of their 4-month-old daughter. Alexander Sean Berry of Orem, he's 29 years old, was booked into the Utah County Jail on Thursday for investigative abuse, homicide, and 2 aggravated child abuse. Myra Jane Megan, before Ynyard, was arrested for investigation of aggravated child abuse. Utah County Sheriff Sergeant Spencer Cannon told reporters Friday evening investigators are still gathering facts in the case and are committed to bringing the perpetrators to justice, even if the alleged crime is unfathomable. We will never get the feeling, okay, I understand why. Anybody who is or has been a parent has experienced frustration with a child for whatever reason, but most people don't lash out, he said. It's frustrating, it's tragic, and there's an innocent little child whose very likely entire life was not much different than Wednesday afternoon, except Wednesday afternoon was a lot worse. And there is a reason why they say the entire life wasn't much different, because some of the evidence shows that, she was not being cared for. And we'll get into that in a second. Foxfire, I wondered if that was one you were talking about. And I mentioned it briefly, but with some of the new reports I'm seeing, that's one I don't really want to get into. I don't know the history of. And I know that reports are coming out that, she wanted to get a license, so she wanted off the missing list and stuff like that. And I just think it's really sensitive. So I didn't really get into that one too much. Hey, Mrs. O. How tough these men are. I know. Love to hang with Adam for 10 minutes for rage release. I know. I'm sorry. Nothing screams bitch more than a man who hurts somebody, who hurts a woman or a child that's smaller than them like that. Like, you're going to punch a newborn. You're going to punch your 5-year-old daughter. You are a bitch. I'm sorry. But that's just my opinion on that. On Wednesday, officers were notified of a 4-month-old girl found unresponsive at a Vineyard residence. She later died at a local hospital. Barry and Megan, the girl's parents, told police that they put her down for a nap about 1:30 p.m. and noticed 40 minutes later she looked pale and was stiff to the touch, according to the affidavit. When medical crews began examining the infant, they said they immediately noticed severe diaper rash. This diaper rash was so severe that blisters had formed, and in some areas the skin was peeling away from the body. It was apparent that the infant was not frequently getting her diaper changed and had not received any cream or medical attention for the irritated area, the affidavit states. While some officers were at the hospital, others were at the Vineyard residence. I was told by other detectives on scene the home was in very poor condition. The house smelled of urine. It was filthy. The other 2 children were undressed and dirty. It was later learned that 9 people and 2 dogs live in the residence. I punched a wall. I settled right down. Corey. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Foxfire. But no, I don't mind you guys bringing it up. I just didn't touch on it too much just because I want to be careful with the way I run my channel. And, after all this stuff, like when we had that fundraiser over here, that group panel, and we were talking about all of the things happening in the community have made me rethink how I run my channel. And I never want to be insensitive or hurt an already grieving family, victim's family, you know, anybody. So that's all. So just because I don't really know the details, I just want to be careful. But okay, let me keep going. It is unclear if the other children in the home were biological relatives of Barry and Megan, Cannon said. He said he believed there were 7 children in the home, but is unsure of the ratio of adults and children among the 9 people who were living there. Law enforcement had previously been involved in what he believes to be a domestic violence-related call with the family, but more information was not available. It didn't take much observation to see that the residents were in horrible, horrible condition. Beyond that, the investigation led us to find out that the child was not well cared for probably most of her life. That is just so freaking sad, you guys. Yeah, 7. Oh, thank you, Mystic. I've definitely made my own mistakes too, you know. That's just the truth. Like, I don't know. It's a journey. You kind of learn along the way. And hey, Caitlin. I'm worried about the missing 18-year-old that just came back. Cray, that was who I was kind of talking about. Sue Am, you're right. Words do matter. They matter a lot. I've always said this, but you can punch somebody in the face, and in a week or 2, they'll be better. You can say something to somebody that they will not forget for the rest of their life. And that's just the truth about it. Your words matter. They are important. Okay, so on Thursday, the Utah State Medical Examiner's Office conducted an autopsy on the infant. The examination revealed severe blunt force trauma to the right side of the infant's head. The trauma was so severe that her skull had cracked in several places, and there had been large amounts of bleeding around the baby's brain. This severe trauma was determined to have caused the infant's death, according to the affidavit. The skull had cracked in several places, and there had been large amounts of bleeding around the brain. My God. The girl's parents were then questioned again by police, and Megan told detectives that, quote, Alex has a history of anger issues and being physically abusive with her and the children, the affidavit alleges. Myra stated, this is another quote, that Alex had punched her in the face on at least 2 prior occasions, and he was often excessively rough with the infant. Megan then became emotional as she recounted that on the day her daughter died, Barry was in the bathroom with the infant when she heard the most terrible scream that she had ever heard her child make, according to police. And that's a direct quote from Megan. When questioned by detectives, Barry admitted to us that he had lost his temper and became infuriated with the infant. The baby had been crying because of the severe diaper rash, and Alex did not take it anymore. The affidavit states, oh my God, that infuriates me. Hey, sis. Oh my God almighty. Like, no shit, she's crying. She's got diaper rash so bad that it's blistering and the skin is coming off. You freaking, ugh. He said, he then told police that he aggressively hit her on the top of the head with a closed fist and choked her as he put the girl in her crib, according to the arrest report. How is this story not, I don't know how I've seen this anyway. Have you guys heard of this yet? Like, why is News Nation, Ashley Banfield, why are we pressing? These cases are not getting coverage while we talk about Bryan Kohberger for the 55th time or 5500th time on mainstream media. You know what I mean? Because that's where the biggest issue is with the mainstream media. In my opinion, but detectives had Barry demonstrate how hard he allegedly hit the infant, but using a doll. The arrested detective noted, I was shocked at the amount of force Alex used in the demonstration. Alex continued that after slamming the infant's head on the crib, he swaddled her and threw her forcefully into the crib area, causing her head to hit the wall. Investigators say Megan was arrested because she was aware of the abuse occurring in the home and permitted it to continue, subsequently ending in the death of her infant child. Myra failed to intervene or render aid before calling 911. Cannon said investigators are still evaluating evidence collected in the case and matching it to the statements from the suspects. He said additional charges that weren't initially considered could be brought up if prosecutors feel they are necessary to holding the perpetrators accountable. We obviously can't change the outcome here, but we can work to achieve justice for this young child. Utah. Do they have the death penalty in Utah? Alexander Schomberry. Hold on a second. I want to see if I can get his mugshot. I need to see his face. Any man who's going to hit a child like that. Like, what a piece of shit. Just a second, you guys. I don't think that his mugshot's out there yet, but at least not that I can find doing an image search of his name. But I'm going to continue because I'm going to keep my eye on this. I'll let you guys know. If I find his mugshot or anything else, I'll post it on the community tab. I want to keep going because I want to talk about these last two stories before I let you guys go. Utah does have death penalty. Good. Okay, Emily. I hate cowards that can pick on people smaller and weaker than they are. Utah does have death penalty. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Mallory, for double checking. Revival Koberger is in Idaho, though. Mrs. O, I know Mallory she's going to do a lot. She's going to do great over there. I really do believe that. A blistered butt is going to make a baby cry. I know, exactly. Sweet and sleuthy. I'm so mad I keep typing so many typos. I know, and I'm sorry, you guys, because it is infuriating hearing some of these. It just is. So, oh gosh, what a pretty baby. 5-year-old Indiana girl found dead alongside mom in suspected murder-suicide. An Indiana woman and her 5-year-old daughter were found dead on Thursday in what is being investigated as a murder-suicide. Tracy Bondurant, 43, and her child, Rayleigh Bloyd, were discovered in mom's Lafayette home. It is unclear how they died right now, but Lieutenant Justin Hartman said they do not believe there is an ongoing threat to the public. An autopsy is being scheduled for Saturday. Let me click over here no, never mind. I don't have to change tabs. On the city's south side. So here's the home. God, family, country, and welcome read signs on the front porch of the Kincaid Drive home in South Lafayette, where police found 43-year-old woman and a 5-year-old girl dead inside the house around 2 on Thursday. The investigation is ongoing. One neighbor said they seldom saw people out in the neighborhood, and he didn't know the people who lived at the house. Asked if he knew the people who lived there, another neighbor said seemed like a younger teens, lower 20s crowd lived there. I really don't know anything about them. They keep to themselves. We keep to ourselves. So, I don't know. I'll be following that to see what else comes out. And a lot of times with these, like the true crime news series, like next week or the week after, we may see an update for some of these. Okay, now this one. is a big deal. Hey, Aries, does Brian Kober have a secret apprentice out there that police are unaware of? I don't think so. I know a lot of people wonder that. See, you say, I think so myself. A lot of people do, especially when you get to talking about Papa Rogers, which Melissa Jade is doing a live tonight, I think, on Papa Rogers. So let me drop her link. Oh, no, wait, that ain't going to work. But I don't think so, because police have his cell phone records. They have surveillance footage of where he lives, and you know what I mean? So I don't believe that there could be this secret person in the shadows that the police wouldn't know about. I think that's just, yeah. Those are the kind of like things that keep people wondering, and probably because the gag order, partly we just don't have a lot of information. So things like that keep people spinning, wondering, about the possibilities, which I understand it because I wonder too. But I think that, yeah, there would be evidence of that. So Jennifer Odom, 12-year-old Florida girl's accused killer, arrested 30 years later. On Thursday, officials announced an arrest in the case of 12-year-old Jennifer Odom, a Florida girl who vanished near a bus stop 30 years ago. The Tampa Bay Times reports that Jeffrey Norman Crum, 61, has been charged with kidnapping, murdering, and sexually battering the victim, officials said during a press conference. Crum is already serving 2 life sentences for another decades-old rape case in Pasco County. It was Crum's arrest in Pasco County, police said, that made him a person of interest in Jennifer's case, which helped renew the investigation. The MOs in both cases were almost identical, with the exception of Jennifer, as we know, was abducted and found 6 days later. Jennifer was last seen February 19th of 93. She only had a 200-yard walk home. How scary is that? 200 yards away from her house. 2 football fields, 600 feet. Jeez, that's just scary. At the time, the only thing law enforcement had to go on was the blue truck, which was seen by some of Jennifer's classmates. Despite a massive hunt for the truck, the case eventually turned cold as leads were explored and exhausted. 6 days after her abduction, Jennifer's body was found on Horse Riding Trail in Hernando County. Police said she was physically attacked and murdered around 10 miles from where she was taken. Investigators utilized a DNA familial searching, which enabled law enforcement to identify Crum by comparing DNA from the crime scene with that of family members, similar to Brian Kohberger. Initially with Brian Kohberger, investigators said that Crum led the victim to an abandoned house where he hit her head with a blunt object, crushing her skull and part of her brain. So I'm curious of her family. She was a barefoot water skier. I'm curious. I hope her family's alive to see this. I can't imagine after that many years, your family member is this brutally taken from you. Father and 2 sons, rapists and murderers. Wow, Sue-Ann. Okay, before we go, let's just do a quick look and see what else is on here that we may miss if we don't scroll, because sometimes, I don't know. Ooh, the Atlanta stabbing of Katie Janis and pet dog at Piedmont Park. Okay, I wish that I had Ann's channel in here. There's a channel called the Animal Intuitive Channel, and her name is Ann, and she is incredible. She is so sweet. Her whole thing is working with animals and basically, I don't want to call it like being a psychic with animals, because that's not what she does. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, go check it out. She does excellent work, and I covered that case with her on her channel a couple years ago. Indiana woman missing since August, packed up and vanished. We have the hoax still all over the the news. Accused Long Island serial killer was creepy in high schools. That's kind of interesting. Okay. Did you guys see this? This is the one we'll end with, but let me check on you in a second. Oh, Wolfie, you're the best. Thank you. Yeah, Anna's really great. Wolfie just dropped the link. I want to get Will and Mexi in the thing, Guidance, Mind of Monsters. There's other ones too. Oh, thank you, Pointer Lover. You guys are the bomb. Thank you for grabbing that. Hey, Chris. Marcus. Well, I don't think I can tell you that. So, adoptive mom creates GoFundMe for her 5-year-old son. She's now accused of killing him. A Pennsylvania couple was charged on Thursday in connection with February's death of the woman's 5-year-old son. Landon Maloberti died on February 7th. I've literally not seen this anywhere. Why? You know what I mean? Why are these cases not? It's so upsetting, and it's, I'm seeing Carly Russell Steele all over the damn news, all over Twitter, all over TikTok, all over everything. But then, I'm sorry, you guys, it just pisses me off. So, Landon Maloberti died February 7th, a week after he was taken to the hospital unconscious. Tribune Live reported that Lauren Maloberti, the adopted mother accused of killing him, and her husband Jacob created a GoFundMe page for their son 2 days after he was admitted to the hospital. I rushed him to the ER. This is a quote from the page. I rushed him to the ER and they intubated him, and he's been unresponsive ever since. The outcome is not looking good. We need to prepare for the most unimaginable outcome, our baby boy's funeral. I don't have much else to say as my heart is breaking in a million pieces right now, the page reads. Sorry, I had to take a drink. According to WPXI, a forensic exam revealed that Landon Maloberti had prior injuries and suffered abuse before his death. As a result, his adopted mother and her husband were being investigated for child abuse leading up to his death. Lauren and Jacob Maloberti, 34 and 33, are charged with homicide, child endangerment, and aggravated assault. They are waiting arraignment. Let's see if I can get the news article on this, the local news. Charges have been filed against the adopted mother of a 5-year-old boy and the mother's husband after the child's death in February. So District Attorney Nicole Ziccarelli confirms criminal charges have been filed at a 5-year-old boy's adopted mother, Lauren Maloberti, and her husband, Jacob. News conference being held now. Hold on. Ziccarelli says Landon Maloberti's injuries and malnourishment caused substantial pain. He was unable to stand, eat, or drink. Blunt force trauma to head, neck, torso, and extremities. Suffered trauma and abuse through his 5 years of life. Landon had blunt force trauma to his head and neck, blunt force trauma to his torso, blunt force trauma to his extremities. According to the criminal complaint, Lauren and her husband, Jacob, a corrections officer, at Fayette State Correctional Center, waited an entire day after severely injuring Landon to take him to the hospital themselves on January 30th. The hospital staff told police Lauren showed no urgency when they arrived, and she told them Landon was wobbly from COVID a month prior. Oh, my God. And he's a damn corrections officer. A doctor at Children's Hospital said they should have called 911 immediately as Landon had suffered 3 brain bleeds and his brain was, quote, obliterated, unquote. Police said he had multiple bruises on his body, he could not breathe on his own, and had rotational head trauma consistent with severe child abuse. Police interviewed Landon's siblings, who told them Landon was the only one their mom spanked because he does not learn his lesson. That's a quote from the kids. Because, quote, he does not learn his lesson, unquote. Siblings allegedly told police their mother would spank Landon with her open hand, a wooden spoon, or a spray bottle. I hope you guys are okay. Just checking on you for a second because I can't see the chat while I'm reading. Oh my God. The criminal complaint states one child told police their mother, quote, gets more angry, unquote, with Landon while she spanked him and would send the children upstairs. They told police they could hear Landon cry. Police also said Lauren's former co-workers reported that she hated the boy and that he was, quote, hard to love, unquote. I just have to stop for a second before I throw something that just pisses me off so bad. I do not understand it. I don't understand how you take in, how is a 5-year-old boy, you hate him and he's hard to love and he's the only one who gets whipped. Why adopt him? I can't tell you how many cases I've covered and talked about with kids that are either adopted in foster homes or given back to shitty parents. What the hell is going on? According to the criminal complaint, texts between the Mallow birdies from April until February of this year were full of disdain for Landon. Police said Landon's maternal grandmother, who is also a relative of Lauren, did not notice any signs of abuse until April 2022, when Lauren no longer let her see Landon, saying Lauren told her he was bad. The grandmother said Lauren didn't respond when she asked to see Landon over the holidays. She also told police Lauren complained that Landon would tell the grandmother he loved her, but wouldn't say the name to her. Neighbors did not want to go on camera, but told Channel 11's Andrew Havranek they were stunned. I'm flabbergasted by that. I don't know. That's really horrible. After Landon's death, the family raised more than $5,000 on GoFundMe for his funeral. Investigators will be looking into that as their investigation continues. The trial for this, the information that's going to come out from their text messages to that GoFundMe money to everything. Oh, I'm so glad that I kept scrolling and we found this case, because why is it not all over the news? There's no question when you see a child so young go through so much, whether you're a parent or not, you can really sympathize with what they must have experienced. The Mallow birdies are due in court on August the 8th. Let's go look at their damn GoFundMe for a second before I let you guys go. Oh my God. That poor baby. Yeah, don't adopt or foster if you don't have love or patience, period. Dennis is a police officer. Oh, wow. I know, sis. It is. Hey, Juror 13. It is broken, Foxfire. Oh my gosh. I used to wake our 15-year-old boys up with a water gun at noon. Slim. My dad has dumped a bucket of water on my brother once when he was a teenager for not getting up. Nora's grandma, she can't be called mom. Dennis. Juror 13. Hi, Alex. Hey, chatters. I'm mad AF. My notifications never work. That makes me mad too. I don't appreciate that, YouTube. Thanks a lot. Oh, he's not a cop? Or which part? It is happening every day. I just don't understand. Yeah, this Oh, the campaign's not found. Wow. It's just depressing that there's not more about it. And I don't know. Maybe I'll try to do a deep dive and we'll start covering this case over here. Oh, here's the parents. Wow. Okay. Nice to see these freaking monsters face to face. Delmont boy's fatal injuries were diagnostic of torture. Buddy, you're going to have a hard time in jail because you're a corrections officer and you either helped hurt a baby or didn't say anything about it. So you're in trouble, and I'm happy for that. Lauren and Jacob are charged with first-degree murder and homicide. Look at them. Look. Oh. Why are you adopting a baby that you don't want, that you find hard to love? This is the home that they lived in, Pittsburgh Street in Delmont. A 5-year-old Delmont boy who liked to sing country music and play with monster trucks. My God. Police said Lauren gave several inconsistencies to hospital staff, saying that he had accidental falls and would throw himself around because of his behavioral issues. And then, like I said, his brain was obliterated. That is a quote from the doctor that is the chief of Children's Advocacy Center. Landon's presentation is diagnostic of torture. And then they talk about the other kids they spoke with. I'm going to save this article. Maybe I'll try to do something a little deeper into this case because it definitely deserves it. Otherwise, thank you guys for being here and going through all of these horrific stories with me. And they are horrific. At first, I had my title like awful cases we missed this week, but then I thought, I don't want to like sensationalize it. So I took the awful part off, but they are awful. I mean, it's just, She does, Slim. I would have adopted him in a heartbeat. You know how hard it is to find a kid these days that likes country? Oh, I'm telling you, there are so many people that would adopt him in a heartbeat, that would do anything to have the opportunity to love and cherish a baby like that. Have fun with Big Bubba. All right, you guys, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to go take Bentley swimming because it's almost 3 o'clock and summer is flying by and I'm trying to get every day that we can. I will, Tina Bobina. I will. We'll definitely keep, an eye on what's happening with all these cases. Yeah. I can't believe we got a follow-up from that family in West Virginia and they had a freaking house full of food. It's just, frustrating. But thank you guys for being here and listening to me and talking to me as we go through some of it. I mean, I know that it's horrific, but it's important. It's just the truth. These are the things that are happening right now that aren't being talked about, period. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you to the mods. I hope you guys have a good day. I think Jen Lu has a live this evening. Melissa has a live this evening. Those are the only two I've seen so far. But I'll definitely post them if there are any more. Mystic, I'll be back. I promise. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I really do. And I hope you have a good day. Hey, Music City Mom. Hey, Anna. Thank you guys. All right. I'll see you soon. Bye. Wolfie, message me because I'm lost. Bye.